Yeah, it's tough to win in this league, and it takes time to build, and it takes time to put together the right pieces. I definitely think they have those pieces here. I thought so from afar, when I had a chance to compete against, Zoe, Bi, Kuz, Josh, and and I feel even better about it, being here because it's a great crop, great group of young men who really understand how to play the game. But I feel like have big time potential. They're nowhere near even scratching the surface of what they'll be capable of. I thought we saw some flashes, especially of Bi this season, late in the season. Before he had to step out. I've seen some special things from him that I didn't know that he had. To be quite honest, me and Doe would be on the bench, and sometimes he would make a play, and I would go, just wait until he gets a little stronger, and that's going to be every time down the court. So I think they have promising pieces, and it's all about what direction they decide to go in.
Tyson, what's next for you?
Man, take some time off. I know I definitely want to play one more year. Talk to my family about it. Honestly, since I've been out, been talking to my family about it. On what I want to do moving forward. One more year for me. I know next year will be it. Not because of any physical reason. But my daughter will be going into high school, so I want to be there, to walk her on campus freshman year and be around for all those things. Be there to scare the little boys away and all that good stuff. So, one more year and then that'll be that.
Tyson, what has this year done for you in terms of, have you felt reconnected to LA and parts of where you grew up?
Yeah, totally. I had a close friend of mine. I hope he don't mind me putting him on blast. You got Jerry Lorenzo, designer for Figure Out, who I actually talked to before I came here. He shot me a text and was like, "All right, no more career advice for me," but laughing because he was the one who told me to come here. I laughed, and I was talking to my wife last night, and I told her I wouldn't have changed anything. It's been the best experience as far as playing for a historic organization, being able to be in my hometown, play in front of my fans, play in front of my family, and just like you said, being able to take in the experience, walking on the court for the first time in a Lakers uniform, all of those things. Even the moments that we had at the beginning of the year that just will be with me, forever. So, things didn't go the way, of course, I would have wrote it, the ending. But during the courses of the story, I had some incredible ups. That myself, my family, my friends, everybody got a chance to enjoy. So, all in all, I'm still happy that I came here. I'm very happy that I chose to be here because I feel like I impacted some lives around me, and I feel like a lot of those guys in the locker room impacted mine. So, it was good.
Tyson, Contavious had said earlier that he thought the trade rumors definitely had a major impact on the locker room. Was wondering what you saw during that time about how guys were affected, and besides the injuries, what else went wrong with this team? What was missing?
It was exactly that. It was injuries, and then the trade rumor. I wouldn't be honest if I was up here saying that those weren't huge factors in the season. I think the injuries were tough for us because we were already a young unit. I mean, we had a couple guys that are not young, but we were a young unit, at the core. And having those injuries and not being able to get used to one another, I think really affected us. Guys are still trying to get used to me. I'm still trying to get used to Bron and Zoe and some of the playmakers, Doe on the team. It's got that can be spread around as far as guys trying to get used to each other. And then, first time young guys like that had to endure trade rumors. It's the first time their name came up. And I remember that when I was young, when I was in Chicago and And the first time I got traded, it was a shock to me. You know, it was unexpected. Didn't know how to deal with it. I remember I cried because it was the first time I'd been rejected in my career. You know, when you're young and a lot of, like myself and a lot of these guys, you know, you've always been number one. Everybody always wants you. And then for the first time in your career, somebody's going, you don't quite make the cut. And so, you know, it takes a toll mentally, but it's a part of our business, you know, so it's going to happen no matter where you're at. And that's just one thing that has to happen to you, and then you got to get over it. And just for us, you know, it just so happened to be this year with young players. And so, you know, it took a bit of a toll. Again, that and, you know, and having our injuries. Because even without that, having the injuries would have been tough. But, you know, all of those things, it made it a little difficult to come back from.
Tyson, I'm just curious what this last 24 hours have been like for you and the team, Magic announcing his departure, and you've been around quite a bit. Have you seen anything like that where a major piece of an organization quits without telling you guys or management and just kind of goes public with it?
No, but, you know, everybody's entitled to do things, you know, at their own time, you know, in their own way, especially, you know, somebody like Magic, you know, and I honestly didn't question it one bit, you know. Maybe it's because I'm a different place in my life and a different place in my career, but, you know, to me it's business, you know, and he made a business and sounds like personal decision, which, you know, I don't think that's up for debate, you know, for anyone, including myself. But that being said, you know, we still had to go out and play a game, all of those things. Well, I wasn't playing, but guys had to still go out and play a game. And of course, you get the locker room chatter and all that kind of stuff, but nobody knew what was going on, so it can't be too much talk. You know, it's just speculation. But, you know, again, I know moving forward, I feel like Magic probably will be around still, you know, because he's a part of this franchise. He will always be just the Kobe's, the Shaqs, the Jerry West, you know, go down the list of all of these, you know, great ones. And I still have confidence that this organization is headed in the right direction and will be headed in the right direction, just because they have all the pieces to do so. It's just about who's going to be driving the ship, I guess, at this point.
Tyson, you talked before about how the trade rumors did affect the team, and was a lot of turbulence this year in general. You've experienced a lot over the course of your career. What are the things that organizations can do to help try to prevent that turbulence from affecting the team?
It's not too much, honestly. You know, because every situation I've been in, I've seen it handled so many different ways. I've seen it handled privately where, you know, general managers just talk to guys, but then it ends up coming to the locker room anyway because guys are saying, I might be out of here anyway, you know. And then it kind of creates that ripple effect. I've seen where it was just silent. Nobody said nothing. Nobody knew anything. And then guys were still on the edge, like, what you been hearing? What you been, like, you know, the closer it gets to deadline. And then, you know, I've been this year where it was very public, you know, and it was all over the place. So when it comes to trades and when it comes to that time of the year, honestly, I don't even know if there's a right way to go about it. But it's again, young players have to go through it, have to experience it, and once you go through it, you just kind of throw it in your, you know, in the back seat.
Tyson, when you have a locker room like this, where we have a superstar that is so much, you know, kind of sucks up so much of the attention and the oxygen, and then a lot of young players, what is the role? What is the right kind of veteran, do you think, and role player to put around to create that kind of connective tissue?
I think really understanding what kind of team you want to be, you know, and then you start there and then start putting the pieces around it, you know. If you're going to be a fast-paced team, if you're going to, you know, rely on Bron to do a lot of things, or if whatever it is you're going to do, then you start placing those pieces, you know, because if you need to add shooting around him, or if, you know, you're going to, you know, be a pick-and-roll team, or if you know you're going to slow it down the bigs. And I think it also is going to be who can you get, you know, and then you build from there as well. Like, all right, I know we got a shot at this guy, so, you know, I like these pieces, and then let's build around that. I think it really comes down to who you can land and then from there, who do you want to be?
In your experience, is there a certain kind of voice, though, that's helpful to have?
Yeah. Oh, you need veterans in this league. I mean, the year I won, we were a team full of vets, and then the years I've struggled, it's typically been with young teams, and it's just because you got to go through it. Young guys got experience to learn how to win in this league, because it's not easy to win in this league. So definitely they're gonna need vets here. I know the team is trying to take the next step, and I know what the goals are around here. So you definitely need at least half the locker room full of, older guys.
Tyson, can you give us an idea? You've been you're from LA, you've been a Laker, you understand all the attention this franchise gets. Can you give us a sense of what the challenges are of attracting a big-time free agent to this franchise in the state that it's in?
I don't know if it's I think the same challenges are for every organization, except sometimes when you're a small market and guys just don't want to go there. Always the challenges do guys want to play with the guys that you already have there? Who are your star players, and are guys willing to play them? That's always going to be the challenge. Does it complement your game? I know whenever I came into free agency, that's what I thought about. You look at the roster and, all right, can I succeed in this, on this roster, on this team with these other guys? What is my identity going to be? And then it comes down to those individuals. It's a big-time free agent crop coming out, this summer with a ton of talented guys, a ton of game changers. I think it's going to be, pitching to them all the pluses and positives of being in LA. The things that you said, yeah, it's a lot of attention, yeah, it's a lot of scrutiny, but yeah, it's a lot of opportunity. And yeah, if you win here, it's huge. Winning here and winning is not like winning in other organizations. We know that because it's Los Angeles. LA, New York, big cities like that, it's different. So it's about who wants to step up to that challenge, to be quite honest. There's certain personalities that can be a Laker. And if you're not that personality, then it's just not for you.
Tyson, you mentioned the injuries, the trades, and then you pair that with obviously knowing for the last couple of weeks of the season that there was no postseason. What we saw down the stretch, what was that a reflection of?
Just, young players with heart, getting after it and not throwing in the towel. I think there can always be positives out of any situation, and we saw those positives down the stretch. I think we saw JaVale McGee mature. I thought KCP really came into his own. We already know what Caruso did. J3. It just, gave Mo an opportunity to get on the court so he can get some of that Mbanga, a lot of those jitters and things out the way. But those guys, they went out there, played hard, played together. I think because of that, not only this organization was able to see, what kind of talent they have and how they can help a team, but, every other team in this league also saw.
Thanks, Tyson.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate the year.